Hello there and welcome to an impromptu shape of the top six. I believe this is number 4, and I wanted to do this shape of the top six sort of off the top of my head, so it's going to be a lot of just kind of speaking from my mind and also what I've got in front of me, which is the Premier League table, about the top six. And I think mainly I want to talk about is the shape of the top six now going to change quite drastically because Jose Mourinho is back in the picture at Tottenham. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that as well. And let me know if you think, is it really going to change a great deal with Tottenham, or is it just going to be a little bit more of the same? Now, I kind of want to look at, I'm going to go through what the top six is right now, but I'm basically going to focus a lot on Tottenham and Jose Mourinho. So the top six right now: Liverpool on top, 37 points. Leicester in second, 29 points. Manchester City, 28 points in third. Chelsea, obviously Man City and Chelsea played each other at the weekend. It was a good game. Chelsea on 26 points in fourth. Wolves have 19 points in fifth. And Burnley in sixth place with 18 points. Tied on points with Arsenal, but they have a better goal difference. Now, in ninth is Tottenham. Tottenham were 14th before this game at the weekend. They were sat in 14th, which is where Crystal Palace are now. Crystal Palace and Newcastle have exactly the same goal difference of -7. Unreal. Anyway, so Tottenham were in ninth. Now, Mauricio Pochettino, let's say his name again. Mauricio Pochettino had been sacked. Okay? I've got no personal affiliation with Tottenham or Pochettino, so honestly, generally, as a Liverpool fan, I'm not that bothered. I felt the writing was on the wall for him because it's at that point in the season. Arsenal are looking at the same thing and they're doing the wrong thing, in my opinion. It's at that point in the season, critical point in the season. Do you let it go until Christmas and New Year, right, with possibly the results still carrying on being poor, or do you just click the trigger, and just make the decision now to give you the best chance of getting back in the top 4, right? And now, obviously, over the last couple of weeks, if you look at social media, particularly in Twitter, if you're on Twitter, because it's one of those, it's a platform that is pretty gross at the best of times, but anyway, it's one of those where you basically see fan bases just going mental over everything. And Arsenal and Tottenham fans have basically been arguing between themselves, saying, who's going to get Mourinho? Well, really, Mourinho was never going to go to Arsenal because, why? He's got a worse team than Tottenham have. They've got they've got good attackers in some ways, but Mourinho's probably looked at that defence and just gone, nah, even me at my best. Even me in my prime, I can't work with that defence. No way. I'm going to go with these guys over here in the other side of London, or just another team in London, in Tottenham. Jose Mourinho is walking into Tottenham, a Tottenham that have very good players in all positions. They do have very good players. These are players that are essentially, they did essentially down tools on Pochettino a bit. But Pochettino was also quite tactically bad a lot of the time. He seemed very stubborn, in my opinion. He seemed exceptionally stubborn in the way that he would set out a tactic at the start of the game and barely ever change it if things were going wrong. So if that tactic doesn't work, he's just like, well, it's not my fault, it's the player's fault. Not that he would say that, but he essentially is saying that by not changing tactics, by not changing the personnel. And I think one of the key things that you saw that Mourinho did against West Ham at the weekend was bringing in Moura as well. So you have like Son, Moura and Harry Kane. Immediately, that's already more threatening than what they were lining up with previously. Now, Tottenham went 3-0 up in this game, and people are looking at it like going, oh, what a performance this is. Jose Mourinho already making an impact. He's already making an impact by making them get that ball playing longer. And as soon as they said that, it's just like, they are going to hate this in about 10 weeks. They really are going to hate this. Because when that ball keeps going long and it's not being played like, that intricate play that Tottenham can sometimes do, and if they're just going to play long ball football and use Harry Kane as a target man, or whoever's going to be used as a target man, and eventually it maybe doesn't work, the one thing that Mourinho's got in his favour is that in this team, he's got a better defence than he had at United. Never mind between Arsenal and Tottenham, he's got a better defence overall than he had at United. So he should actually be able to work with this a lot better. Seems already he's having an impact on Dele Alli. You know, getting that bit of a, what did he say, like a monster or something like that? Or, no, he wanted to see, you know, are you Dele Alli or Dele Alli's brother? Something like that. It's these sorts of things that Mourinho is good at. He is very good at, like, getting, like, what do people call it? A siege mentality out of his players. He wants his players on his side from the get-go. And it kind of seems like he's going to get that straight away. The next thing for him is to get the fans on side. And the only way that comes is by results. Now, as I said before, Tottenham were 3-0 up in this game against West Ham. West Ham have been god-awful. Like, I'm looking at their form guide right now. In the last 5 games, they've drawn once and lost 5, West Ham. Now, Tottenham's before today, the other day, was they've drawn 3, lost 1 and won 1. Obviously, now the win is against West Ham. West Ham very nearly made this game 3-3. If Declan Rice had not strayed offside by the slightest of margins, that game would have been 3-3 against West Ham. West Ham. Now, I want to look at West Ham's last couple of fixtures because, my God, they have not been great at all. I don't know how Pellegrini's still in the job, to be honest with you. Right, they lost 2-0 against Everton, drew against Sheffield, lost against Newcastle, lost against Burnley, and now they've lost against Tottenham. Before that, they lost against Palace, drew against Bournemouth, lost against Oxford in the Cup. Since they beat Man United, they've done nothing. They've done absolutely nothing. And they almost got a draw against Tottenham. Right? They almost got a draw. If Declan Rice, as I said, if he hadn't strayed offside, you'd be looking at a 3-3. The second 3-3 of the weekend. The only problem that you've got with Mourinho, everybody knows the story of Mourinho. This part of the season, and he very rarely comes in. I don't know if he ever has come in this part of the season. He always tends to come in like at the start of a season, something like that. This is probably as close as he can get. The problem you've got with Mourinho is as follows. The first season is always going to be sort of a write-off season. He may go forward and he may win them a trophy this season, which would be huge for Tottenham. If he does that, he's already done better than Mauricio Pochettino. Facts. That is facts. Second season is the season where he gets going. The second season is generally always the one where he gets going. The train is absolutely pulling away. The players are behind him. The fans are on side as long as the results are coming in. The Mourinho train is in full effect. And then the third season might come. If the second season has gone well, the third season, if that comes along, that is where the train is getting a bit rusty. Things are starting to fall off. One trailer's gone. A player is probably going to leave. Or one of the defence, a Christian Eriksen or someone like that, is going to end up leaving. And the chinks are starting to go. The railway tracks are going one way, another way. The fans are going one way. Mourinho's going one way. The board are going to go another way. Everybody knows what you're getting when you get Mourinho. You get 1 to 2 years out of Mourinho, which is what a lot of people are predicting. Now, I just think this is where, of the managers that are available, which aren't many, let's be honest, or if, I don't know, if they wanted to even go, like, consider someone like an Allegri who's got no Premier League experience, or someone else in the Premier League, a team that may be a little bit lower down. Like, apparently their first choice was Brendan Rodgers, and it's like, are you joking? Like, I don't understand what the mentality is between, and I'm not slagging them off, I don't understand the mentality between Arsenal fans and Tottenham fans where they say, we're Arsenal/Tottenham. Why wouldn't Brendan Rodgers want to come here? He's at Leicester. Leicester are doing absolutely magnificently at the moment. They're second in the league to Liverpool, 8 points behind. One of the only losses they've had is against Liverpool. The other one was Man United somehow. Like, Leicester are doing a really, really, really good job at the moment. They look very, very competitive. They look threatening. They play great football. They've got good personnel. They've got a nice mixture of experience and young players that are playing well. Why is he going to want to leave Leicester? They are also recent Premier League winners in the last 6 years as well. So, I mean, like, why? Why would he want to leave Leicester? You know, he's doing very, very well with them. He's got a very good shout of getting them back in the Champions League this season as well. And then they'll turn their noses up at someone like an Eddie Howe, despite the job he's done at Bournemouth. They'll turn their noses up at him, and I just don't get it. You know, there were probably maybe... There's other managers that they look at, like Nuno Espirito Santos from Wolves. He's doing a good job at Wolves. Wolves are 5th right now. They play good football. They had a difficult start to the season, but still they've only lost 2 games. They've drawn a lot, but they're still sat 5th in the table, above Man United, above Burnley, above Arsenal. They're doing very well. Why are these managers going to want to come and take over Tottenham with a team of ageing stars that in a year or two, it's going to need a full refresh? It is going to need a full refresh. And with that refresh, it's going to need a lot of money. An owner that doesn't like to spend a lot of money at all went one whole season of not buying players because Pochettino apparently had said, I can work with these guys, this is fine. Instead, what it created was a year of no new recruitment, right? Which meant that you've got the same squad that stagnates. You know, they get to a Champions League final, haven't really got over the fact that they lost that final as well. Started the season really poorly. They pick up a result against West Ham, which arguably Pochettino could have as well, because it's West Ham right now. They're god-awful. That doesn't mean that because Mourinho won 3-2 against West Ham, that all things are going to be sunshine and daisies. He's now going to build on this one, get that defence working properly, and then in a year or two, he's going to be asking for so much money to refresh. Literally, I don't actually know the ages of the likes of Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld and people like that. Danny Rose has got a contract that's going to be running out as well. Gazzaniga is probably going to be your first choice goalkeeper, but probably not from Mourinho. When Lloris comes back, he's over 30. He's going to be first choice. You know how this works with Mourinho. Everybody knows how this works with Mourinho. Someone made a stat the other day saying he's given... Mourinho, over his career, has given 49 youth players a debut, and they were looking at that as a positive. His career started in like year 2000. That's 19 years. 49 players of youth that he's given a chance. That's not good, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. That's not a good start. That's not... I looked at that and I'm like, you cannot seriously be looking at that as a good start. And when he gets denied the money that he wants to refresh the squad that Daniel Levy won't give him, then what's going to happen? Exact same thing that happened at Man United. He's going to start calling out the board. He's going to start calling out the fact that he couldn't get transfers that he wanted. He's going to start calling on things like fixtures and fixture pile-ups and the players that he's got. He's not working with what he wants to work with, and that's where the third season crumbles. And then the players get disillusioned. The players are unhappy. Players want to move on then. And then what happens again? In the third year, maybe he leaves, or maybe he sees out his contract, whatever. They have to bring in a new manager. Then they're going to have to revitalise the squad as well. There's no longevity with Mourinho at all. Everybody knows this. Chelsea know this as well. They're in London, for Christ's sake. All you have to do is just look over the last couple of years and be like, oh, what's Mourinho? Oh, right, that's what he's done. Case closed, let's move on to someone else. It's a mistake long term, in my opinion. They may win a trophy under Mourinho, which would be probably their best success in the last 60 years. I don't actually know. I think they actually won a trophy maybe like 10 years ago, something like that, whenever it was. But longevity-wise, it's not going to work for Tottenham, and it could actually do a lot more damage than it will do instead of just keeping on with Mauricio Pochettino. As bad as it looked with Poch, it could be worse with Mourinho over the next 3 years. Let me know what your thoughts are on this topic anyway. This video went a little bit longer than I expected it to, so I've probably forgotten a lot of what I've said and waffled quite a bit. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Get your comments in below. Let me know what you think of Mourinho at Tottenham, and will it work or will it not? Thank you ever so much, and I'll catch you later.